Episode 17 of PigCake Plus. It's here. It's back. It never left. It's like the soft, supple touch of a small abandoned kitty. It's like when you put your hand in the pool with all the manta rays in SeaWorld and they just took the bait from between your fingers. Well, anyways, welcome. Welcome to episode 17 of PigCake Plus News. And today, I think this might be the best episode yet. We have some intrigue. We have some gay penguins. We have some dirty water. Let's just jump right in here. So apparently, if you're in North Carolina, wash your hands if you touch the ocean. And forget about swimming, experts warn. Waters off of much of the North Carolina coast are no longer safe for swimming or even wading during Hurricane Florence's runoff. Now they're pretty much saying that the water is poo-poo water. The North Carolina Recreational Water Quality Division says floodwaters contain a mix of septic tank waste, sewer water, petroleum products, chemicals, and animal waste. Despite the warning, Federation officials report that they still have seen people swimming in the ocean. You know, you gotta respect the level of retardation of some people during hurricanes. My favorite are the surfers that always hit the beaches against the wishes of every single safety official. Then one of them dies and there's always this mourning talking about the person and how they affected others. Yeah, he's retarded. The other day, I watched Grizzly Man for the first time. For those of you guys that don't know what this is about, it's a person that lived with bears for a couple months out of the year to protect them from the environment and poachers or whatever. And Werner Herzog, who's one of the better known directors, he narrates over recordings that the dude made himself. Now, while his message was positive, the guy was an absolute moron. He talked about the compassion about bears and how living among nature showed him that they have a moral compass as well as nature being a beautiful thing. But he complained when the animals fought against each other and cried when he would find dead animals, saying it wasn't fair. At some point, he also looks at a wild fox and says, I love you, and that sort of voice, which just, it haunts me. It haunts me to this day. I mean, they're wild animals. What do you expect? Well, anyways, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but it's the same shit as these dudes that want to hit the waves during a hurricane or go anywhere near water immediately after. You're just asking for death. Now, I do recommend watching the movie about the bears, though. It's done excellently, and it's actually unintentionally hilarious. For some reason, the way it was shot, the way it was directed and edited and put together, it really just hits home the fact that this guy was functionally retarded. So cries of racism erupt over the casting of Nagini in the latest Fantastic Beasts installment. The final trailer for the movie, The Crimes of Grindelwald, contained a jaw-dropping character reveal that has some Harry Potter fans fuming. As it turns out, one of the prequel's franchise new characters, played by Claudia Kim, is actually a familiar villain from the original series. Voldemort's evil snake companion Nagini, author and screenwriter J.K. Rowling, tweeted that she's been sitting on this secret for over 20 years. But it seems like social media skeptics say that Nagini's shocking past as a Korean woman seems highly implausible and possibly racist. Someone on Twitter even said, let's retroactively turn a woman of color into a literal object owned by a white man inspired by Nazis. What? First of all, she's Asian, so that's like anti-colored person. And second, she's an actress who has a job. Why are people complaining about this? It's a fictional character. I saw the story on Twitter a little while ago and thought that it was a standard Twitter clickbait where they mention Situation X sparks conversation about non-existent problem Y. In this case, it was casting sparks conversation about race. The bottom line is that she's playing a role in a fantasy movie. Why are you bringing racial implications to this? I feel like the worlds of Tumblr and Twitter may have combined together and already infected the platform worse than it actually is. See, what I want to know is if this crazy has always been around, but before social media, it was just harder to see, or if it started because of social media. You should leave your opinions on the thing in the thing below. I just find it ridiculous that people get outraged over the most mundane of things, such as casting on a movie. I think the same thing happened with Charlize Theron or someone like that in a movie a little while ago where she was hired to play a trans man, and people were complaining that they didn't have a trans actor play the role. Maybe there weren't any trans actors available. Maybe she's acting. God, people get upset over the dumbest things. 100 years ago, people were getting killed for dumb shit, right? And here you are 100 years later, in the greatest time to be around in all of history, and you're complaining about casting in a movie. Speaking of movies, Fujifilm unveils its 100 megapixel GFX 100 camera. It's noted as the world's first mirrorless medium format camera with an 100 megapixel sensor. The latest design will feature in-body stabilization. It's a phenomenal option for the rich rapper that has $50,000 burning in his or her respected pocket. The camera is $50,000. You know what you could do for $50,000? That's 50,000 McChickens. That's 50,000 tacos from Taco Bell. I can hire your mom as an escort and have her get me 49,999 McChickens. It's easy to get wrapped up in the tech game. When I had a non-YouTube job, I would find myself getting stuff needlessly just because of that capitalism, man. You get infected. It's bred inside of you. Now I'm frugal as fuck. I'm saving up for stuff I need as opposed to buying it outright like I'm some sort of rapper. Straight cash, dog. I'm more cautious about eating out. I highly recommend it for everyone to try at some point to get fired. It really does something to your psyche. I'm eyeballing that Canon R. Seems sexual. I feel like it's one of those cameras that you could actually have sex with. Speaking of sticking your penises in orifices, hanging around warises, gay penguins kidnap a chick from straight parents at a Denmark zoo. A gay penguin couple kidnapped a chick at Denmark's Odense Zoo while the baby's parents went for a swim, according to a zookeeper. The zookeeper, Sandy Munink, said the gay penguins wanted to be parents and likely thought the chick's mom and dad were being neglectful, according to Denmark's broadcaster DR. What happens in this situation? Is there a penguin jail that the gay penguins are going to be sent to? I also feel that I glossed over the fact that gay penguins exist. You think gay penguins act like gay people? These are all questions that need to be answered. Are there other gay animals? Gay lions? Gay antelopes? Gay anteaters? Gay bears? I think that last one sounds a little bit redundant. Well, anyways, here a 7-Eleven customer dramatically throws iced coffee on the counter after learning the price. New York police were reportedly searching for a woman who dramatically threw iced coffee across the counter of a 7-Eleven after a reported squabble over the price of the drink. The incident caused damage to over $200 worth of cigarettes. Iced coffee at 7-Eleven is like $1, and a large one is like $1.69. How is that so much that you throw the brew at the people working at the register? Now, in my lifetime, I've only seen a couple people be obnoxiously rude in public or to a waiter or to an attendant or whatever, and they're always the worst kind of people that complain. I'm not trying to suck my own dick here, but I don't even complain if I get the wrong order. If I ordered steak and you come back with chicken, I'm going to eat the chicken. Why would I complain? They have control over the food. If they wanted to take it back and rub their ass all over the chicken, how would I know? I would just be happily eating ass steak, all because I complained. That's also why I don't trust shows like Kitchen Nightmares, when they have 80% of the people in the restaurant that always seem to send the food back. I've been at disgusting places and still not seen people even think about returning food. Anyways, police seem to be looking for this woman, and I don't blame them. The picture shows this female talking on the phone while casually dropping coffee all over the counter. If it was me, she would have to spend an hour in iced coffee while the registers, the attendants, poured iced coffee on her. No need for jail time on this bitch. Just some sweet, icy revenge. Well, anyways, that's the news. That's the news for today. That's the end of episode 17. Oh boy, we're almost at 20 here. Man, what a milestone. What an achievement. I feel like I need to have a special episode 20. I might have a nipple reveal. I might do something special like that. Well, anyways, thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening to the news. I'm going to go figure out different ways to use a phone as a shelter.
Again, when I see you again, when I see you again, when I see you again. shine again.